Dan Campbell spoke to the media today. He hit the presser, had a lot of good things to say. One of the things, my first takeaways has gotten me excited for the Detroit Lions was him speaking on the new coaching staff. And Chris, I don't know if you had that video already or queued up or not, but let's hear that one.
You know, but to be able to get Terrell Williams, somebody that I've had experience with, I think he's the best D-line coach in the league. If he's not, he's certainly right up there. I think he knows how to develop. He's got experience in game planning, and he's going to be beneficial for our guys up front. Deshae Townsend played a long time, coached a long time. He's going to be able to deliver exactly what AG wants in the back end. And so those guys are going to be vital. And then certainly Jim O'Neill's the defensive assistant, been a coordinator in this league, and has a wealth of experience. So those guys will be good for us defensively, really help AG finish the vision of what we're looking for.
Dan Campbell, a guy that we all know and love. If you don't know,
now you know.
Now you know. And if you don't love him, you're just stupid. I don't know what to tell you at that point. But he put the stamp on Terrell Williams as the best defensive line coach in the league. Now, Dan Campbell is a respected coach in the league. To go out there and say something like that. And mind you, Dan Campbell is like, he'll hold himself back from saying like wild shit like that. Like he has been like truthful when speaking on guys like Jared Goff. I mean, everyone.
J-Mo,
right? So J-Mo, you know, he may not ever have elite hands.
Yeah.
He called Terrell Williams the best defensive line coach in the league, and we've already had high expectations for him. Smitty, how that's got you feeling, man?
It's got me feeling pretty good. It's got me feeling like Broderick Martin's going to do something next year. It's got me feeling like Josh Pascal can make a break be an upper echelon player on this defense. Like, this is a guy who likes that type of player. Who likes that Josh Pascal, that John Kaminsky, that guy you can move around in the middle or on the outside, a big, fast Danico Autry, one of those guys that can do multiple things on the defensive line. This is a guy who can unlock the true potential of these guys. He can make them legitimate dudes on this defense, and hopefully, please God, hopefully, can get Broderick Martin on the goddamn field. I just want to see him out there. This big, 6'5", 350-pound mammoth of a human being. Get him on the fucking field, please. Please. That's all I'm asking. I just want to see him in between Aleem and Hutch, getting those double teams, being a eater, eating it for lunch. Like, that's what we need to see.
I am a fan
and
of guys
do think
with big
Terrell
butts.
Williams, he's going to be a hell of a lot better than John Scott Jr. I can tell you that right now wholeheartedly. Hopefully he can unlock the potential of these guys.
He's got the resume. Like, I remember when we hired John Scott Jr., we looked back and we're like, oh, there's Micah Parsons. Oh, Micah Parsons wasn't there when he was coaching. And then we're like, okay, well, let's write it out. Dan can be the hire. Let's do it. This guy has a track record. This guy has a resume of having guys come out, whether collegiate or professionally, produce on his defensive lines. As a matter of fact, he also, and I think a lot of us already know this, but if you didn't, he's also the former defensive line coach for one Brad Holmes. And he has some good things to say about him, too.
He's, so Terrell, I want to say that was his first position coach job. He might have been a GA at East Carolina when he got done playing. And so I believe A&T might have been his first position coach job. But Terrell, man, he's a great teacher. He's a straight shooter. He's really the first coach that really taught me the nuances of achieving what you want to achieve on the field behind the scenes. He's the one that used to bring me in and sit me down and watch tape with me all summer and kind of learn those ins and outs and developing a relationship so, you can build that trust with the coach. And then when, he was a great coach in terms of holding us accountable. And so you built that trust, and when we didn't do the right thing, he held us accountable. And we didn't like it all the time, but he's an excellent teacher. I'm not surprised with the success that he's had. Even when I was a young scout, he was in the college ranks. I want to say he was at Purdue for a while, and he produced a lot of good defensive linemen out there at coming out of Purdue at that time. And I believe I was a combine scout at the time, and that's when I really knew, like, okay, I knew that you were always a good coach, but when he was producing all those defensive linemen out of Purdue, I was like, okay, this guy's cooking with gas. But not surprised, very happy. Obviously, him being my D-line coach in college is not why he's here. He's here because of his body of work.
And just real quick, this is off the top of my head too. We want to speak about like a body of work. So again, he has pieces he's like produced into the NFL, and guys that he's had professionally under him produce as well. We already know about Denico Autry, a guy that we kind of want to bring here as a free agent because of what Terrell Williams has been able to do with him. Let me carry that list on to Cliff Averill. He worked with there at Purdue.
Yep.
Justin Simmons over there with Tennessee Titans. I mean, these are just a few of the names. But those are names you recognize. I mean, maybe not Denico Autry, but you look at the numbers, you're like, okay, maybe I should have fucking known that guy. Why didn't I know who that guy was? But Justin Simmons, you sure as hell know. These are like top-tier guys in the defensive line. And just one more quote from Dan Campbell. Again, I think he knows how to develop. He's got experience in game planning. He's going to be beneficial for our guys up front, and I fully expect that. I had the expectation before that, but hearing these words, I guess, solidified from Dan Campbell himself, now I'm a full believer. Now I know it's going to happen. He called him the best defensive line coach in the league, bro. That is high praise from Dan Campbell. I promise you it is. And I'm not convincing anybody in this room. I know you guys know that. But for the listener at home, expect something out of this, especially with a Broderick Martin. I hate to sit here and tell you guys a need for my team, a piece that I want for my team is a space-eating defensive tackle. When we drafted one in the third round, moved up to draft one in the third round last year. And we saw a splash play out of him the very first play in pads that we seen in person when he's tackling our number one running back in David Montgomery. That's probably going to change this year too. Jahmyr Gibbs obviously doing his damn thing. But we know we have like the potential there. Now we got Terrell Williams to hopefully put that into motion.
It's not like this guy that's going to unlock Aiden Hutchinson and make him a 20-sack Myles Garrett type of guy.
Shit, what if he does?
That'd be nice, but I don't think you're going to see it a lot out of Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see it a lot out of the other guys.
Yes, I agree.
The other guys, the Josh Pascals, the John Kaminsky's, the opposite,
the
Will Ferrells, the Mark Wahlbergs, the opposite of Hutch. Like the guys you want to see it out of, the guys you need to see improvement out of, he's going to go in there, he's going to tweak it. Because Hutch is going to be Hutch. Hutch is going to be his guy. Yeah. And we know if he had some help, he would have had more sacks than he did last year. But I think that the other guys are going to get benefited from this. You're going to see the guys who had 1, 2, 2.5 sacks next year having 5, 6, 6.5, and it's going to go throughout the entire defensive line. And in turn, that will help Hutch because that means more eyes on more people, so you can't triple team and chip Hutch every snap.
Yeah.
But still, I don't think Hutch will be this Myles Garrett guy because of the re-signing, but I think the other guys are going to be so much more improved.
Yeah, and I just thought of one more name to add to that list too, and kind of like there's a little bit of the recipe we got cooking here. But Cameron Wake over there with Miami. Terrell Williams also had to deal with him. That's a guy from the CFL coming to the NFL and just took over the league. What did the Lions just do this past offseason? I mean, the offseason's not even over. Yeah, we just got ourselves Matthew Betts. No, again, a lot of you guys expect some crazy shit out of him. I don't have that expectation, but now that I'm looking at Terrell Williams' resume and knowing he's done that already with the Cameron Wake, maybe I might have to shave my beard or whatever bet I put on the line for those 6.5 sacks.
4.5.
4? No.
Yes, it was.
No, you tried to change it 4.5.
Well, it was 4.5.
No. I remember you told me to change it. I ain't fucking no 4.5.
Go grab the tape. It was 4.5.
Grab the tape.
Speaking of a guy that put up more than 4.5, he was hurt all last year, but a guy like James Houston, do you think he can maybe take him to another level with his experience that he brings to this D-line room? Because we've seen what he's able to do opposite Hutch in some spots a couple of years ago.
So my answer for that one kind of like varies only because James Houston, we know that he works with like Shepard as well.
Yeah, linebacker.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he's sometimes in that linebacker room and he's used as like a edge specialist. But I feel like he's majority working with the linebackers. I would like for him to be working with at least give Terrell Williams the opportunity to see like what he can cook up with them. I want him in the line rushing the quarterback for damn sure. Especially if you get Broderick Martin out there producing. And I'm not talking about producing as like far as like a Nick and the numbers. Eat the blocks.
Yes.
Get Aiden these one-on-one matchups. Get Houston these one-on-one matchups so they can capitalize and do what they do best. And that's eat the fucking quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what we've been asking for is a big guy in the middle, and you got one sitting on your team that didn't play at all last year. So hopefully, Tyrell Williams can come in here and he can get the best out of Broderick Martin to make him a piece that will benefit those around him. And that's what we expected out of him. We don't expect him to be, DeForest Buckner or Aaron Donald or anything like that. Just demand a double team so the other guys can free up for one-on-ones.
Absolutely.